Hi, welcome to ritzyventurez and welcome to Lakshadweep, India's smallest union territory. Hi, welcome to episode 1 of my Lakshadweep series. I am at Kempegowda Airport in Bangalore. I am on a trip to Lakshadweep with my daughter and a group of friends. While I walk towards my boarding gate, let me tell you how you can plan your Lakshadweep trip. You need to plan your trip several months in advance. Lakshadweep is India's smallest union territory with only 32 square kilometers. The number of hotels and resorts in Lakshadweep are limited and get booked quickly. Also, the number of flights to Agatti are less in number with limited seats. Second most important point is that all tourists need a permit to stay in Lakshadweep. So you need to plan your trip well in advance. Our permits were issued by SPORTS. SPORTS stands for Society for Promotion of Nature Tourism and Sports. SPORTS acts as a nodal agency of Lakshadweep administration for promotion of tourism in Lakshadweep. The permits are issued 15 days prior to your travel. I will share later in this video how I planned my Lakshadweep trip, where I stayed in Lakshadweep and how I got my permit done. So watch till the very end to know all the details, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done so far. With that, let's start day 1, episode 1 of my Lakshadweep series. So, how to reach Lakshadweep? Option A is to sail in a ship. You can book any one of the Samudram packages run by the government in the website displayed on the screen, or sail in the lap of luxury under Cordelia Cruises. Please do note that when you sail in a ship or a cruise, you don't get to stay in the islands. You only make day visits to these islands. Option B is to take a flight to Agatti. However, there are only a few direct flights to Agatti. For most of you, you can reach Agatti via Kochi. Even for us, our return flight was via Kochi. Thus, Kochi is considered the gateway to Lakshadweep. Now, I am at Kempegowda International Airport in Bangalore taking a direct flight to Agatti. That's our boarding gate. Our boarding was delayed by 40 minutes. And before we were allowed to board, our permits were checked twice by the airline staff. This is an ATR aircraft that Indigo has started this year from Bangalore to Agatti.
That's a small flight. I'm going to get into my flight.
Our journey time from Bangalore to Agatti is 2 hours 10 minutes and the flight has only 78 seats. Our flight is just taking off. While we fly over the captivating Arabian Sea, let me tell you 5 interesting facts about Lakshadweep Islands. Lakshadweep is a group of 36 islands located some 400 kilometers of India's west coast into the Arabian Sea. It is made up of 12 atolls, 3 reefs and 5 submerged banks. Out of the 36 islands, only 10 are inhabited. Lakshadweep Islands are made up of coral reefs and coral atolls, which were formed by the accumulation of coral polyps over time. While the capital of Lakshadweep is Kavarathi's air base is in Agatti Islands. Now coming to why I wanted to visit Lakshadweep. Lakshadweep is a tropical paradise synonymous with breathtakingly beautiful beaches. I also wanted to experience the various hues of blue, participate in a slew of water sport activities as well as view its rich marine life. And of course, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Lakshadweep in December 2023, which repositioned Lakshadweep as an exotic destination, had bolstered my decision to visit Lakshadweep despite the so-called challenges of getting a permit. Coming back to our flight, we're about to land now. Let me show you how Lakshadweep looks from my flight window. Agatti Airport almost an hour late. Agatti Airport is considered one of the smallest airports in India with a runway of 1291 meters. However, the smallest airport in India is Baljek Airport in Meghalaya with a runway of around 1000 meters. As soon as I crossed the arrival, I came into this area, which is a permit checking zone. We were asked to go to the last counter where an officer checked our entry permits, return ticket as well as our hotel accommodation. He already had a list of passengers who alighted at Agatti with various details. The entire process took around 10 minutes. The officer asked us to collect our baggage and wait for him to escort us to Agatti Jetty. Yes, from here onwards, everything from local transport, hotel and food was taken care of by Lakshadweep Tourism. This is the baggage collection area as well as the exit.
Wait na mama, it is so cute, wait.
That's a tiny airport for you. Just stepped outside the airport now. How many of you have seen a more beautiful view outside the airport like this in India? Please mention in the comment section. I just stood here mesmerized by the turquoise color of the water till we were asked to get into our vehicle. We sat in this vehicle and proceeded towards the jetty. Agatti Island has one of the most beautiful lagoons in Lakshadweep, and Agatti Island is only 7.6 km long. From Agatti Island jetty, we are going to go to Bangaram Island, where we are going to stay for the next 4 days. We were a bit disheartened when we were not allowed to alight from our vehicle to take even a few pictures of Agatti Island. We were told in no uncertain terms that since our permit is for Bangaram Island, we will not be allowed to stop anywhere in between. So be mindful of the fact that the entire permit thing is so stringent in Lakshadweep that if you want to explore any part of Agatti Island, you have to take a separate permit for it. We have reached Agatti Jetty.
Here is a jetty, Agatti Jetty.
That's our ferry to take us to Bangaram Island. Let me just hop into it. Our 40-minute ferry ride has just begun among undulating waves. Behind me, as you can see, is the beautiful Agatti Beach. That's the beautiful lagoon beach. It has been drizzling a bit, but the view outside is too mesmerizing for me to sit inside. And the shades of blue kept changing. Look at the amazing pod of dolphin dance, and please press the like button if you haven't done so far. I decided to go to the top deck where the boatman was to get the same view that he was getting. The boatman pointed it out to Thinakara as well as Bangaram Island in front of us. Behind Bangaram Island is another small island called Ferry Island, which could not be seen from here. I have plans of visiting both Ferry as well as Thinakara on another day. I don't know what the man was speaking about, but he was speaking in Jaseri, a language that people in Lakshadweep speak. Jaseri is a dialect of Malayalam but sounds more like Tamil. It also has influences of Arabic in it. Also known as Dweep Bhasha, it has no written script. So for official purpose, Lakshadweep uses English as well as Malayalam. However, in Minikoi, which is close to Maldives, they speak Mal rather than Jaseri. That's my piping hot cup of tea given by the people at the boat at no extra cost. What a sweet gesture. So I can survive without food but not without my cups of tea. We almost reached Bangaram Island now. Luckily, the drizzle has stopped by now. I did not miss the opportunity of getting a few pics clicked here. My first thought on seeing Bangaram Island was what an idyllic holiday destination it is going to be with a shoreline dotted with boats. It was around 4 p.m. when we reached Bangaram Resort. A manager of the resort checked our booking details and IDs and sent our luggage to our rooms in this buggy. He then asked us to proceed for lunch. The lunch was mainly Malabari cuisine, and there were many people much like us having a late lunch. Such refreshing air and what a majestic view. We went to the sports center and signed up for a few activities for the next day. Always remember to sign up for water sports activity for next day as the slots get filled up easily. We then sat in a buggy and proceeded towards Wooden Hut. We had booked 2 rooms in the Wooden Hut. It is a bit of a walk from the jetty. Those are the cottages. And these are the wooden huts where we are going to stay. Bangaram Island is solely managed by Bangaram Resort. There is no other hotel or resort here. The island caters only to tourists and locals do not stay here. The soothing color of turquoise and the immaculately clean beach, which being distant is not crowded at all, make Bangaram Beach one of the best beach destinations in the world. Let's take you to our room in Wooden Hut. incredible view in front of us. After some rest, we hit the beach. So Bangaram Resort is a government resort. Interestingly, in Lakshadweep, the government resorts are prettier and thus more costlier than the private ones. Let me tell you an interesting tale about Bangaram Resort. Several years ago, the management of the resort was handed over to a private party. When the government wanted to take control back of the resort, a legal battle ensued between the private party and the government, which even led to the resort being shut down for some time. Luckily, the verdict of the court came in the favor of the government. Thus, for several years now, the resort is once again being managed by the government. The government is doing a fabulous job maintaining the beaches as well as running the resort and its various water sport activities in a very professional manner. As we all know, Mr. Narendra Modi's visit to Lakshadweep has led to a huge surge of tourists to Lakshadweep in recent months. Now coming to the topic of permits needed for Lakshadweep. Yes, you definitely need a permit to stay in Lakshadweep. And for various island stay, you need to have permits for those particular islands. I would suggest that you get your police clearance certificate done first, then proceed with your flight and your hotel bookings. To know whether PCC is mandatory or not for Lakshadweep, please click on the link on the screen. On the screen is the website through which you can apply for entry permit to Lakshadweep. However, applying it on your own is not an easy process. You need an invitation letter from a local at Lakshadweep to get the entry permit. So I would suggest to get in touch with a tour operator who would help you with your accommodation as well as permit. Our accommodation and permits were handled by Maya's Travels. I will share their details in the description box. And in another episode, I would shed more light on PCC and permits needed for Lakshadweep. It's evening time now. Listening to the lullaby of waves while walking on the grainy sand with gentle breeze on my face and watching multifarious hues of the sky is such a delightful memory for me from Bangaram Island. It was around 8 p.m. and we decided to go for dinner amid the slight drizzle. It was good that we were carrying our umbrellas, so we did not wait for the buggy. The dinner was a huge spread of food. Post-dinner, we sat on this buggy to get back to our room. Everything around was a bit dark, and that's because Lakshadweep does not have electricity yet. It runs on generator. That's why power is used frugally here. With that, it's end of day 1, episode 1 of my Lakshadweep series. Thanks for watching. My dear viewers, please do write to me if you have any query related to this episode, and please do like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so far. See you soon in the next episode.